Okay, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
You
Black
don't know
Lives
that.
Matter?
You may learn something.
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat, black, radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who
All
hate
right, have a good
God.
one. Get this clown off.
Say it ain't so. Say it ain't so. We back with some more JLP. For those who don't know, Jesse Lee Peterson. Listen, a lot of people, they get their panties in a bunch when they hear his name for some reason. All right, so look. This got to do with Jesse Lee Peterson getting kicked off a show. Normally, people walk off his show. Today, he's actually a guest on someone else's show. And for some reason, this host couldn't take it and say, you know what? You 86, you out of here, all right? So look, sit back and react with your boy. If you like reactions like this, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. Let's see what this is all about, baby. Let's go. Sit back and react.
In the bullpen today, I have a conservative radio talk personality, TV host, extreme conservative, and he's proud of it. Pastor Jesse Lee Peterson, founder and president of Bond, B-O-N-D, and host of JLP Show and The Fallen State. Pastor Peterson, good day. Welcome to Indisputable.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
Sir, you all have a celebration coming up next month. Are you not the founder of White History Month, I think, which starts in July?
All right, let's get this show started.
Yeah, we're going to be celebrating our 4th year of White History Month in July. And the reason that we started it in July is...
I got to stop it, yo. Listen, he is a master at putting you in a corner and making you so vulnerable that you got to sometimes listen more than you respond when it comes to him.
Because if you notice, July just feels white.
Yeah.
You know, it's summertime, vacation time, relaxing time, reflecting time, and appreciating the greatest country on this side of heaven.
Gotcha.
And so we are recognizing that and showing our appreciation for it.
I think it's important for people to know you're not a comedian. What you're saying, right? What you're saying, this is actually you. You do this. You're the founder of White History Month.
Yes.
You've also been very critical of Juneteenth. You have called it a fake holiday, but you are you want to make sure that everyone supports White History Month.
Absolutely.
I do want to have a policy discussion with you about the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act. I'm going to attempt to have that policy discussion with you. Do you agree or disagree with the George Floyd Policing and Accountability Act?
I totally disagree because, as we all know, George Floyd was a black, unemployed drug addict with a criminal record.
Remember back then, they used to always, this is how they would actually portray you in the news. Now, the narrative changed. They don't do that anymore. Pay attention to what's going on. I'm telling you, it's a narrative behind what they're doing. Now, when it's a black person involved, they don't go as far as like what he did, what his background is, what his history was like. They just mention the color and they say, yo, this is wrong. They shouldn't have done this. That's the direction they're going with it now. As opposed to before, they say, oh, he's a criminal. He got arrested 45 times and this, that, and the third. You understand? Check it out, man. I'm telling you.
Okay, let's first of all, let's clear something up, sir. You really should be ashamed of yourself.
How dare you?
You call yourself a Christian pastor. George Floyd is dead.
It's his fault.
He's dead because a cop killed him.
No, he's dead because he was a drug addict.
My question to you, and that's adverse to the evidence, by the way, what you just said. My question to you was about policy. So let me ask you, what in the policy of the George Floyd Policing Act do you disagree with?
The whole idea. Which
part of the policy? Jesse,
blaming the cops and no responsibility
Jesse,
for the blacks.
I'm asking you, what part of the policy is written? You can find it at congress.gov. What part of the policy, sir, do you disagree with? This is a simple question.
I disagree with the whole idea of a policy.
You haven't read the policy. You haven't even read the damn policy. Come on.
If he said the whole idea, that's an answer itself. You understand? I mean, I like, look, sometimes I disagree with people. Sometimes people disagree with me. I mean, you see it in the comments. It doesn't mean that I gotta dislike you or now we enemies. We just have difference in opinion. You understand what I mean? Our point of views are always gonna be slightly different. No one has the same 2 point of views. Everyone has their own reality. And this is why the world is the way that it is now. At the same time, though, you do have facts.
I don't need to read it. I don't need to read it to know the truth, because what I've noticed is that black people today, due to their lack of love, their lack of believing in God, they love evil more than they love good, right?
So that's the reason why you don't read.
And so that's
the reason why you don't read.
Right, because it was written by no good black people. And why should I waste my time knowing what they're about? Black folks today, and not all, but most, have no sense of direction. They're blaming everybody but themselves. And until they take responsibility for their own lives, they are not going to get better. The real truth is,
let me ask
George Floyd is dead because of George Floyd and no one else.
That's a ridiculous point. But do you blame yourself for not reading the policy, or you blame somebody else?
Why should I read the policy when I already know the people? You
don't even know what's in the policy, do you?
I don't need to know. Don't want to know. I know the people who are writing it. They're no good.
Okay, let's talk about Black Lives Matter. This is probably going to end up being an utter waste of my time having you on the show. What are your thoughts about
you
Black
don't know
Lives
that
Matter?
You may learn something.
This is another way to look at things. You ever watched a movie or a series and there's like there's a character who's the bad guy, and then throughout the season you end up liking this character. Now the character is likable, right? You know, they can actually persuade your thoughts if you're not careful to independently think for yourself. This is why it's good to just reserve your feelings and think rationally. You understand?
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who hate God.
Get this clown off my show. I appreciate it.
Who hate God, who hate the
I gotta bring that back, yo.
You may learn something.
We'll see, preacher. What is it about Black Lives Matter that you disagree with fundamentally?
Black Lives Matter was founded by a bunch of fat black radical lesbians.
Okay.
And who hate God.
Get this clown off my show.
Yeah. Says the hypocrite talking about get this clown off my show. Look, listen, man. Some people, they really be having their panties in a bunch. You gotta cut this out, man. Like, let's leave the feelings to the side. Just because someone is saying something you don't want to hear, allow them to speak just the same way you speaking, all right? You give them a platform the same way they give you a platform. We gotta stop being insensitive. The world is getting too soft. If you agree with me, definitely go in the comments. And if you made it to this part of the video, consider hitting that like button. Definitely subscribe to the channel and also hit the notification bell. I'll see you on the next one.